morning and welcome to GBC News, GTV. We've got a packed lineup for you this morning covering the latest. It's been another full week from sub-regional activities, which you can see me wearing it, to politics and education, entertainment and healthcare. Let's get to business with our panel to digest the week's top stories. So I start. The battle for the Ayawaso East seat is ongoing, and the NDC will be having its primaries later today to see who will represent their party at the by-election. Two prominent figures are vying for the top spot. Is it going to be Baba Jamal or Hajia Amina Adam to lead the National Democratic Congress in the Ayawaso East constituency by-election? Yesterday, we heard pollster Musa Dankwa project that Baba Jamal's support in the NDC parliamentary primary is unlikely to exceed 38%, based on his recent polls data and the prevailing voter trend. Meanwhile, Hajia Amina Adam, the widow of the late Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East, Muhammad Nasser Toure, appears firmly in the lead with an estimated 54% support ahead of their primaries, with a 3.5 error rate. But as we know in Ghanaian politics, projections do not always translate into outcomes. Could there still be General Secretary Fifi Fiavi Kwete cracks down on greed in the party? A new directive requires government appointees eyeing party executive roles to resign at least 6 months before internal elections. Is this a game changer for fair play, or really is this just a recipe for power struggle? The MPP has been there before. This bold move has sparked debate. Will it strengthen internal democracy or strip the party of valuable experience? Some see it as a necessary check on power, while others worry about the brain drain and weakened governance. Still on politics, Dr. Bawumia has a clear message for the New Patriotic Party and for Ghana. It's time to unite and move forward. As the MPP regroups for the 2028, he's extending a hand to supporters of other aspirants, calling for solidarity and collective effort. Yet, critical questions still remain unanswered. Dr. Bawumia's road to 2028 is raising eyebrows. Can he bounce back stronger after the 2024 elections? The big question on everyone's mind right now is, does he have the charm? Some are also asking whether he has the organizational muscle and whether he has a game plan to take the top spot in 2028. And the Ghanaians, are we really ready to put our trust in him? And crucially, who will the NDC field to face the former vice president in 2028? Finally, government is pushing to revert Kotoka International Airport to the Accra International Airport. And this is sparking a heated debate. The announcement signals a major shift concerning one of Ghana's most recognizable national landmarks. But the question remains, what are the real reasons behind the proposed name change? And is this the right priority for the country at this time? This is Current Agenda, your Saturday morning companion. Proudly sponsored by Bank of Africa. Bank of Africa understands that we all need some finance. Contact them this month for any financial solution you would need. Any development that you think you would need support. You get to them, they'll help you with their credit cards, with their Visa cards, everything with their overdraft, their loan facilities, to make you be able to go through the usual January, February, and March pressures. Bank of Africa says that you should seize the opportunity and let your tough times make way for that soft life you've been dreaming about. Visit the application process. Call Bank of Africa on 0302 429 333 or 0302 249690, or visit them on their website www.boaghanainfo.com and chat with Fafa. Remember, for every product, all terms and conditions apply. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner. The National Petroleum Authority also says that if you suspect that you are not getting the right amount of fuel, if you have issues about the quality of fuel you bought, or if you experience bad customer service at any fuel station, don't stress. The NPA is here to assist you. Reach out to them, or you can call them on their call center number 0302 550 380. Or feel free to walk into their head office located at Jolu on the N1 highway, or any of their regional offices to make a complaint or inquiry. If you experience any of the issues I earlier mentioned, bad customer service, poor quality, you have been underserved, you have up to 48 hours to report it. NPA, where customer care meets excellence. I'll be right back after this quick break.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa, we are indeed the African, the global reach.
Meet KWAME. He's not just any KWAME. He's KWAME, the TV license legend. KWAME knows that by paying his TV license, he's supporting GBC, our public service broadcaster, and he's making a real difference. KWAME's contribution helps bring our communities closer together. Because of KWAME and others like him, we will all have access to amazing TV programs, educational content, plus broadcasting infrastructures are maintained, and our culture is beautifully promoted. So GBC is asking all to respond to this civic obligation and pay your TV license fee. For individuals, it's 3 CDs per month or 36 CDs per year. If you have multiple sets, meaning 2 or more in your household, it's 60 CDs per year. For commercial institutions, it's your number of TV sets by 36 CDs per year, and you pay the invoiced amount directly to GBC. So let's all take a moment to appreciate KWAME, the TV license legend. Wherever you are, just dial star 447 star 333 hash and follow the prompt. It's your civic duty, so pay your TV license today. GBC, the authentic and trusted voice of Ghana.
Welcome back. So as usual, I'll start with my reflection for today. And today I'm very straight so I don't fall into contempt, and at the same time I speak my opinion on this issue. Today I would want to speak on this, in inverted commas, Agrada sentencing reduction issue. And I'm titling it, "The Agrada Sentence Reduction Makes Mockery of Ghana's Criminal Justice System." Within the week, we heard that the Amasaman High Court has decided to slash the spiritualist, so-called, Patricia Asiedu's 15-year sentence to just 12 months. And this information sent shockwaves through Ghana's legal and public sphere. Critics argue that the reduction made by an appellate court with sentencing discretion veers into the world of absurdity. Many Ghanaians are asking, is this even legal? That's the main question. Is this legal? Is this right? Going beyond this, is it what is expected? But legality doesn't always mean justice is served. Some will say that yes, well, whatever it is that they did is within their legal bounds because they are justices and they have the power to do all those things. But the question to ask is, does legality mean that justice is served? The law sets penalties with one objective: to deter wrongdoing and to prevent a reoccurrence and prevent people from getting excited and motivated to do it. To uphold public trust, another reason, and to safeguard the justice system's integrity. Now, many wonder if this reduction that has happened misses this mark. Does it uphold the integrity of the law system? Does it bring back public trust? Does it deter people from doing the wrong? The Amasaman High Court sentence reduction for Agrada has sparked outrage, with critics arguing the judge overlooked the gravity of her crime. And that's very key. How grave what she did is, how deep-seated it is. It's not about the person, it's not about the person's followers, it's not about what the person believes in, it's not about whether the person is transformed or reformed. It's about how deep the action sits in our DNA as a people. Convicted of defrauding the public, fraud, which is seen as a second-degree felony, carrying up to 25 years imprisonment. Agrada's 12-month sentence seems at odds with the law. Pairing this with a conviction for her charlatanic advertisement, which typically warrants a fine or raises the questions about the... In fact, all this, when you couple it, it raises a deep question about the court's priorities. Has the severity of her felony been watered down? 15 years to 12 months. The law's clear hierarchy of offenses is no accident. There's a reason why the law has arranged offenses, made some misdemeanor, made some second felony. There's a reason. It's not by accident. It's not just for arrangement's sake. Misdemeanors and second-degree felonies are not interchangeable. You can't replace one for the other. You can't use the punishment for one for the other. They carry distinct consequences. Section 296 of Act 30 spells it out clearly. Different crimes, different punishments. In fact, even in our homes, different crimes, different punishments. As parents, we do not met the same punishment to our children or to offenders in our home when they do different crimes. Some just goes with a word of advice, some goes with a frown, Some goes with a belt or a cane. Some goes with even being denied certain privileges. Different crimes, different punishment. Judicial discretion is a double-edged sword. It can be a powerful tool for justice or a slippery slope. Ghanaian judges must wield this with all wisdom. And I say this with all sincerity and not apologetic. Considering the impact it will have on society, it must be wielded with wisdom. A 1-year sentence for serious fraud raises eyebrows. Is the law bending rather than bending to justice? That's a question. Are we bending the law rather than bending it towards justice? Are we bending it away from justice, towards people, towards individual? The state has the power to right this wrong. And today I'm speaking directly to the powers that be. With appeal options on the table, it's time to revisit this case and ensure justice is served. I don't have anything against her. I don't have anything against her congregation. I don't have anything against whatever she professes. But justice must be served. The people's trust hangs in the balance. The state must act decisively to restore confidence in the system. This decision could set a dangerous precedent. Authority and power to do things. And sending a message that fraud has minimal consequences will have a dire effect on this country. A 12-month sentence falls short of delivering justice, potentially emboldening scammers and diminishing victims' suffering. All the people that have suffered whatever it is that she has done today are seeing her come out, and I think she's even done about 7 months or so. So technically, in the next few months, and their pain would even be heightened the more. The broader implication is even more troubling. When the judiciary appears lenient on serious crimes, it weakens the moral authority of the criminal justice system. Citizens may start to question whether the law protects them equally or if powerful individuals can expect leniency. In other words, we'll get to a time where people can enter your house, do whatever they want to do to you, and with their money, pay and walk scot-free. And this will embolden people to want to take matters into their own hands to defend their rights. In this case, the court decision has made a mockery of the law. Second-degree felonies are serious offenses with lasting social consequences. And leniency of this scale diminishes the rule of law. It sends a chilling signal to would-be fraudsters and erodes trust in Ghana's legal institutions. We must ask ourselves, what kind of justice system allows serious offenders to walk away with almost symbolic punishments? The answer should not be discretion alone, but principled discretion. A principled discretion grounded in law, in precedent, and the societal need for deterrence. The Agrada case, as I call it, is a wake-up call for Ghana's justice system. It's time to reaffirm justice isn't a compromise, and crimes against the public demand fitting consequences. And to add, justice is not for sale. Ultimately, the legitimacy of Ghana's criminal justice system hinges on consistency, fairness, and accountability. When courts fail to impose appropriate or proportional sentences, they erode the very foundations of justice, the very foundations they are meant to uphold. The Agrada ruling should be more than a headline, should be a wake-up call. Discretion in the courts is vital, but discretion without responsibility is dangerous. Ghana must ensure that its justice system protects the innocent, appropriately punishes the guilty, and maintains public trust that underpins the rule of law. I repeat, I am not against her. I don't have a personal grudge with her congregation, with her followers, with her business partners. The problem I have is what seems not to be a fair application of the law. What seems to be money at play. What seems to be personalities at play. The authorities should take note and make use of the appeal process. Justice must not only be seen to be done, but justice must be done. I'll be right back after this break. Well, welcome back, and I thank you for staying with us. Proudly sponsored by Bank of Africa. Bank of Africa says that if you have plans for this month, the month of February, the month of chocolate, the month of love, does it include a relaxing staycation, a romantic dinner, or taking off experiences from your bucket list? Bank of Africa Visa credit card is your perfect payment option. For shopping, reservations, getaways, anything, our Visa card offers convenience, flexible payment, and enhanced security and direct debits should you forget to repay. Choose affordability, choose comfort. Sign up for a Visa card with Bank of Africa today. For further information, call Bank of Africa on 0302-429-333 or chat with Fafa at www.boaghana.com. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner. Well, before I go into the topic for today, I would just go across for just a take on, I have with me in studio my brother Austin BRAKO-POWERS. He's a private legal practitioner. He's also wearing his fugu. We are sending the strong message that this is not a blouse. Yeah. This is fugu. Anybody who does not understand, that's your problem. And we would wear it. We would wear Ghana proudly every time, anytime, and represent it. So Austin, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
We are just shooting on.
Right.
And like you were saying, the thing is that we are not only solidarizing with our president. Our president had an opportunity to market the fugu.
Yes.
In fact, as we speak today, the fugu is the most visible brand now And I'm even saying that the Minister of Tourism should take steps to get geographical indication for the fugu, because we have the quality fugu. You get it? So we should be able to let that the way we have the geographical indication for Kente.
Yes.
Let's be able to secure GI for the fugu, which is an international brand, because we have quality ones being made from up north.
Right. Thank you. I also have with me in studio Honorable Charles BAWA-DUA. He's a lawyer and also the MP for Bongo. Honorable, I hope this time I got the name correct. No, you didn't get it. I didn't get it. BAWA-DUA. Okay. DUA. Anytime I see them, I remember. If you are away, then I forget. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning,
and
KOJO.
I like your color. You're sitting next to me, so we are doing the Ghana flag. You have the red, I have the yellow. You have a shade of the green.
Exactly.
So I hope the rest will come in with the colors so we blend.
Let's hope so.
But good morning, Honorable. I hope you're good.
I'm okay.
Right.
It's been interesting following the discussions surrounding the Zambians' understanding of what our president exhibited in terms of dressing. That is the fugu.
Yeah.
And I think they didn't know that the fugu is an integral part of the Ghanaian culture. And it's one of the most prominent dresses that you will see in Ghana. I mean, you go out there and a lot of people wear the fugu. It's one of the things that bring us together as a country. And it's unfortunate that rather than seek to understand, get some more information about the president dress, the Zambians sought to derogate the significance of the. But I'm sure there were a lot of Zambians who understood it and then were on the side of the president. So I think moving forward, I'm sure they will continue to learn more about Ghanaian culture.
Hopefully. So we are live on GTV, GBC News, and also live on Radio Ghana. You can reach us through WhatsApp on 053-110-1315, 053-110-1315. You can share in your contribution, your remarks, your questions during the discussions, and we will be engaging with you also on that platform. Okay, so Boris, Agrada, just 2 minutes. I mean, speak as a lawyer.
I couldn't help but to admire your reflections. Particularly, you touch on salient issues. In fact, the questions that are on the minds of many Ghanaians. Personally, when I heard about the decision, I didn't take time to read the entire decision, but the conclusion baffled me. So I asked myself whether we are in for justice or we are in to serve the interests of people. Particularly, you were quoted at section 296 of Act 30. It is clear. It is patently clear. And you were right that in our system, we've categorized the offenses. We have misdemeanor, which is the list of the offenses. A misdemeanor carries up to 3 years. So we start from a fine to 3 years. But the judge says for a second degree felony, you could go for a fine and a jail time. And I found it very, 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 in fact, interesting that a judge is saying a second degree felony. Why do we even call it a second degree felony? In the minds of the legislator, they categorize the offenses. Second degree felony. It is one of the crucial offenses in the country. Defrauding by false pretense is not a small offense. And you are saying that you can go for a fine. I think that is a poor appreciation of the law that we operate, and even our criminal justice system. The judge didn't do a good job, because to reduce a sentence, and you see, he was quoting the Salome case and saying that the amount involved, 1,000 cedis and 500 cedis, is nothing substantial. So on the basis of that, he could go for a lesser punishment. It's not about the money involved. It's about the intention. And particularly, I'm just surprised that after having upheld the conviction of the trial judge, you went ahead to reduce it from 15 to 12 months. I was thinking that in order to reduce it from 15 to 12 months, you would have, even in a way, you would have said that you do not agree with the trial judge on some of the matters. But you ended up saying that you agree with the trial judge on the conviction. It means that the spiritualist committed offense. And the prosecution made its case properly before the court. How then do you agree and appeal? How do you go ahead and appeal the conviction of the conviction made by the trial judge and conclude by saying that even though the spiritualist had committed the offense, you think the punishment is disproportionate? And he was quoting former President Kufuor. But that quote, attributing it to President Kufuor. President Kufuor is not the only person who has even, that quote has existed before President Kufuor. Sometimes it's just funny the way, the last time someone was quoting Idi Amin, today someone is quoting President Kufuor. Next, I'm sure they will go and quote President John Dramani Mahama. They should stop reducing our justice system into mockery. And you were right. The decision of the Amasaman High Court judge is patently, I mean, he has reduced our criminal justice system into a mere pittance. It's just a mockery of our justice system. And it's something we should not entertain. And you were right. The prosecution, the Attorney General, Office of the Attorney General, has an option. It is not about the person involved. It's not about the amount involved. It's about the act. It's a serious offense. Second-degree felon, defrauding by false pretense, under Section 131 of Act 29 is a serious offense. And even though Section 131 does not prescribe the punishment, when you go to 296, it's clear. It says that where the punishment is not mentioned, in cases of 131, the punishment is up to 25 years. So you couldn't have said that, the judge couldn't have said that you can go for a fine. I mean, that's a poor appreciation of the law. And I think it should be entertained.
Right. Honorable, to move from 15 years to 12 months, from your legal point of view, when you heard this?
I want to quote a part of the judgment of the High Court, Amasaman, by my good brother, Justice Ofo. He says in the last part of page 44 of the judgment that I wish to place it on record, but as a Catholic, I believe in miracles, because the virgin birth as well as the resurrection of the Christ, the foundation of Christianity itself, are both profound miracles. So on that basis, I think that the outcome of the appeal was a miracle.
He was performing.
That's the simplest.
Honorable, you've explained it in the most simple way.
Yes. I like it.
A miracle.
It's a miracle.
And it's important that the people of Ghana should know that the judge himself believes that it was a miracle. So we were treated to a miracle. And it is very unfortunate that we reduce the justice system of this country to miracles. You see, the thing about law is especially also to deter others. That principle of law, when it comes to punishment, is important. Now, we live in a country now where people say that they are pastors, they are herbalists and all that. And they use that. And a lot of Ghanaians, vulnerable as they are, they use this so-called privileged position of pastors and herbalists, they use it to cheat and defraud the Ghanaian populace. This is happening outside there. And we needed to use this case, to show also that, look, no matter who you are, the law works. It is said that the arm of the law is long and firm. Wherever you are, the law will eventually get to you if you are doing the wrong thing. So, this should have served as a deterrent to others. But you see, the court ended up making a mockery of the judicial system. That is to say that you can do anything and get away with it. And I am not imputing influence, whether monetary, political, whatever, because I have no evidence of it. But I think that the outcome does not serve as well as the country. I know that punishment is at the discretion of the courts, depending also on the nature of the case, the nature of the facts, and all that. So Justice Oppo had a discretion to impose whatever punishment or sanction within the law. And like my learned friend said, given the category of some of the offenses, he could not have been talking about the fine. You see, judicial discretion is to be used judiciously to achieve the purpose of justice. I do not think that, given the nature of the offenses and the fact that this has become so rampant and all over this country, that was a judicious exercise of the discretion on the part of the judge. I respect the decision, but I disagree with it when it comes to the sentence.
Right. Right.
You see, the justice system is not a joke. If we are unable to exercise it and enforce the laws, this country will break down. One reason why we have so many problems in this country is the lack of respect for law. The lack of respect for it. We have all the nice laws, beautiful laws sitting in the shelves. Parliament make laws, a lot of them. But these laws are hardly enforced. The reason why we are here, the reason why the streets of Accra are littered, the reason why you get the traffic lights and motorbikes will come and pass. And for them, they are not part of the traffic regulations. Look, if you go to Francophone countries, they respect law. They always say, c'est la loi. That means that is the law. And they will obey the law. Go to Lome and you see whether you see a motorbike come and pass the traffic lights. You will not. But we leave all these things and we don't enforce our laws. And that's where we are. And that is why, for example, landlords will rent out their properties over and above what the law says. And nobody does anything about it. It's not enforced. And you can never have an effective enforcement of the law if you don't have the judiciary active. If you don't get the judiciary on board. And, you know, it feeds into the suggestion in some quarters that, look, sorry, if you are a big man, influencer in society, you get to court, you can get away with it. That is what this judgment seems to be pointing out, and that is in the wrong direction. I do not know what the Attorney General Office thinks about it, but I believe that the judge could have done better, even if there was a need to reduce the sentence. Not 1 year. No. Definitely not.
Definitely not 1 year. Definitely not 1 year. Anyway, Honorable, so on that one, let's go in. Today, your party is having your primaries at Ayawaso East is today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I wish the contestants very well. From the discussions and the commentary that has gone on, it appears that the race is between two people. The wife of the late MP and my friend Baba Jamal. Let me say that for me, the important thing is that the outcome should be fair and it should come out peacefully. I know the late MP was my good friend and my client, and I did so many cases for him. I knew the wife who was always coming to my office, some of these things, a very industrious woman. Baba Jamal, nobody, doubts him in the NDC circles, the colleague lawyer at the bar, and a friend as well. I wish them well. Let's hope that whatever the outcome is, the parties will accept the outcome, and then together we can win the seat for the NDC in the Ayawaso East by-election.
Okay. Powers, we know Baba Jamal from Akwetia, and that his name resonates with that seat.
It, yes.
I don't even know his connection to Ayawaso East. Maybe there is. Maybe I'll come back to Honorable to explain. But when you heard his name that he intended to contest for that seat, even as an ambassador, what was your reaction?
No. Well, the thing is that ordinarily, nobody will ignore domestic politics for international politics. So Baba Jama, even being an ambassador to Ghana's ambassador to Nigeria, is still eyeing the seat of parliament. Should tell you that he prioritizes domestic politics over international politics, and that should tell you that he has a lot to do to serve the interests of the people. But it is not out of the blue. It is usually done. It's, in fact, any Ghanaian, that's the beauty of our democracy and our constitution. Any Ghanaian, it doesn't matter where you were born or where you hail from. You can contest an election in any of the constituencies across this country, provided you have been there for a stipulated period of time, within which qualifies you to stand for the election. So he meets the criteria. In fact, he meets all the criteria prescribed under the Constitution. So, and like Honorable said, this is a home game. It's a home match. And I'm happy for one thing that they didn't put any obstacles on the path of, or in the path of Hajia Aminu. Because initially she had wanted to opt for, during the vetting, she had opted virtual, and I had many say that it's not allowed, and that even though she is bereaved, she cannot, and you know she's bereaved, so she cannot in any way come out publicly.
Yeah.
I'm happy that at least the governing National Democratic Congress allowed her and have given her opportunity. This is the beauty of the democracy. She has a lot to do. And Honorable said, she's a businesswoman. I've not met her personally, but I've heard a lot of things about her from people who are around her, and the things, the interests, and the ideas she's bringing on board to develop Ayawaso East constituency. We pray, it is my belief that this election will be fair and fair, so that it will not bring division. The NDC needs a united front. It's a seat they want. They must guard it jealously. It's a seat they must not allow petty, needless internal politics to derail their progress. We wish them well. May the best person win this election.
Okay. So, Honorable, this, I don't know whether I should call it a trend now, where when MPs, male MPs die, their widows seem to want to take up the mantle. I think it started in 2000 with the Sutifi South MP when he died, the wife then, I think Cecilia Amwa. Then it followed with Asante Achim. Is it Asante Achim South also in 2016, if I remember correctly, where that one also, that was Linda Okulu. Then Ayawaso.
And Fatima, that place around Salpon.
The one that I think the husband was on the road here. And
exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
that one.
There was one that the husband was murdered by armed robbers.
Yes, that's on the Fantiman. Yes, that one.
Yes.
Then there was Lydia Al Hassan also for Ayawaso West. Then there was Ophelia Hayford. I think Ophelia Hayford is the one we are talking about, is it? Yeah, Ophelia Hayford is the one we are talking about. Yes. Then I think there was 1-2 for Timpani.
Yes.
Also, and then there's this guy.
The Timpani one, I think he was the candidate. He wasn't the MP.
Oh, he was
a candidate.
Okay. Yes. This trend, is it not worry?
Well,
I mean, some schools of thought will start thinking that it becomes an easy access to become an MP.
Let's hope MPs are not in danger.
Nobody takes a deliberate step to murder any MP.
I just before I answer that, let me say that Baba Jamal is not new in Nima politics. This is actually the second time he is contesting.
Okay.
He contested the late MP the primaries the last time, but lost to the MP. So I think that he has sufficiently stayed in the constitution, the constituency, to enable him meet the timelines as provided by the constitution. There are several other MPs who started elsewhere and also ended up elsewhere.
Yes,
if you remember, the former Salaga MP, who now is an MPP man, but he later became the MP for Medina.
Oh, okay.
Boniface,
yes.
Boniface, yes. He started as MP for Salaga. A lot of people have moved like that, and that is normal. Now, regarding your question, I think that I would say that it started as a coincidence, kind of something, but it's developing into a culture. And I believe that it is not wrong, whether politically, whether legally, or whatever. You see, when you are doing politics, sometimes your spouse gets involved. So they get to know the actors in the constituency, the delegates, the executives, and all that. They get to know them. And it's these people who will come together to promote your candidate. So normally, you know, in politics, the people around the leader always want to ensure that they continue to control affairs. You see? So that if they think that, look, if we allow this position or seat to go out of our influence, it may not be to our favor. So they try to find somebody who within that circle will continue to serve their purpose. Now, like I started, because sometimes the spouse is already used to these people, you know, he was part of bringing them together, unifying the circle and all that. They think, oh, it is easier to use this person. And of course, sometimes the possibility of getting sympathy votes, you know, to enlarging the probability of them winning. So I'm sure that is why it has kind of developed this way. But it's not in every instance. There are a number of instances that it didn't happen. But it is not legally wrong. And politics is about getting the requisite numbers to win elections. So when the party believes that, look, this candidate, notwithstanding that is a spouse of the late MP, can win the seat, they will normally go for the seat. So I think that it's a practice that may continue for some.
Not a subtle way of admitting that we are really forgetting why MPs or the qualities needed for MPs to be elected. Because bottom line, MPs are supposed to be lawmakers.
Yes.
And they are supposed to have certain qualities to make them lawmakers. One of those qualities is not the fact that your husband used to be an MP. And so if that becomes the key consideration for the person to win the seat, are we not losing the very fiber of why we need MPs?
KOJO, Honorable was right. The thing is that, but it may appear to be a worrying trend, but it's not surprising. It's not anything that is illegal. Having your spouse take over and contest for a position is not illegal. The key question we should be asking ourselves is, do they qualify to contest domestically? So in other words, per the NDC constitution, does Hajia Aminu qualify to be a member of parliament or qualify to be a parliamentary candidate? The answer is yes. She's a card-bearing member. She pays her dues. She's in good standing. She meets the criteria. When it comes to the national level, our constitution, in fact, it's very basic. You don't need to be a professor. You don't need to be a doctor. You don't need to be a lawyer. In fact, there's no criteria as being a business person or a lawyer or a doctor. That is required of anybody before contesting for a position. So you meet it, and it is part of, it fits into the broader picture. In order to make she work herself and even get worried about The most important thing is that she qualifies. And let's not feel that when a deceased spouse cannot contest for an election, and because it's becoming a pattern. And Honorable was right. When I think the Juicy MP died, the former deputy finance minister, when he died, the wife didn't contest. I mean, there are other incidents where the wives or the spouses did not contest. They didn't see the need to contest. So it's not a worrying trend. It helps. It builds the system. In other words, the thing is that political parties are there to win elections, and they are there to galvanize their base. So if a deceased spouse could be the rallying point for the forward march of a political party, I think it is the best. That's why we're always looking for the best person. In fact, why would she step aside for somebody else to come in when she is qualified and when she can do the job? Why should she step aside? She qualifies. She's a business woman. She meets the criteria set in the NEC's constitution. She meets the criteria nationally. So she is competent to do the work. And I don't think any of those who have contested and won and are currently in parliament, and some who had served their term and they are out of parliament, did not qualify for that position. If they did not, I'm sure there would have been issues with that, as we've seen in a string of cases. So it's not a worrying trend. It's something that Ghanaians should not work themselves over and say that, oh, this is becoming troublesome. It's not becoming troublesome. The person qualifies. If the person qualifies, that's the bottom line. Right.
So, as you mentioned, and the Honorable mentioned also, a very industrious woman. I understand she's the CEO of AMSA Oil. She's also on the board of Sankofa Gold Mines. She's also on the board of the Ghana Hajj, NDC Zongo Caucus. So she's not a new person to politics.
I've dealt with them as their lawyer, and I know that woman is very active, very vociferous and strong. Right. Even if she were not the wife of the late MP, she could have contested. And so the fact that she is the wife of the late MP should not be a basis for judging her ability or otherwise to do the work. That is a woman that is hard not. Is a very good woman. Who can.
But do you think she being a woman can go to advantage? Especially looking at, yesterday I was paying attention to Musa, and he was showing that when you look at the composition of the delegate system in Ayawaso East, it's about 37% women, compared to the national for NDC is about 17%, which means that it's more concentrated there.
Yes, so sometimes your gender can help you. Exactly. You know, so if she's lucky, and a lot of the delegates, not the majority, are women, and they decide to vote based on gender, that could help her. But that is not automatic. Right.
So on the screen, we see, sorry, Honorable, Musa Dankwa's voter preference before his prediction. He's saying that voters are indicating about 58% of the voters prefer and this is not the delegates, these are voters in the constituency, prefer Hajia, 32% prefer Honorable Baba Jamal, 5% prefer Honorable Mohammed Ram, and then I think 3% for Dr. Yakubu Azindo, and then 2% for Najib. This is the preference. When it goes to that for the delegates, if you can show that for the delegates as well. For the delegates, I think none of them crosses the 50% mark as a noun. But even using the not undecided, he's explained that per their prediction using the undecided, it takes Hajia to 54% and Baba Jamal to 38% with a 3.5 error margin. So which means she can be between 51 to 57%. So, I mean, it sends a strong signal that if this happens, that means the people really, really want it.
Well, so these are just opinion polls. And so
I mean, if to go, I mean, Musa Dankwa so far has established himself.
We do not know. Sometimes, you know, the American elections, when Bill Clinton was contesting, Many people thought that he was going to win the elections until the last minute. So these things can happen. So they remain opinion polls. But let me also warn that, look, a poll based on the general electorate does not necessarily mean you will win the primaries. Look, in a lot of constituencies, the delegates can go and choose an unpopular candidate. But because sometimes that constituency is a stronghold of a particular political party, the person will eventually win.
Right.
So if you look at the statistics of NEMA, as that NEMA is a stronghold of the NDC. So it's a question of who wins the primaries, and the winner is likely to go to parliament. Now, so the concentration is on the delegates. So if you base an opinion poll on the general, one of which is very important is your relationship with them. These days, delegates want to have a personal relationship with you. They don't want to rely on anybody to get to you. You know, they want to get you when they call you and all that. You should be available for them. And that is where I think that comes of a kind of advantage for the woman, because she has been in the constituency all this while. Remember, we say that Baba Jama has come from Akwetia. You know, I do not know if she has lived there all this while. But the fact that she has a Akwetia background, you know, some people may be divided by that background, but it doesn't disqualify him. So personal relationship is important. And of course, what happens on voting day?
Right.
And I think you understand what I mean, because
Yeah.
most of the election primaries are won or either lost on voting day. You know, there's a commentary that to the effect that Kenya Japan lost or, you know, reduced his performance because of his output on the voting day. You know, whatever that means, I don't know. But
we'll come to
your concentration and focus on the voting day is very, very important.
Okay.
Quick one. I think we must understand that Hajia Aminu has a very forceful personality, and as Honorable when hinted at. The thing is that the poll conducted by Musa Dankwa is just a forecast, and it remains an opinion. But don't forget that this election is first past the vote. Whoever gets even an additional one vote is a winner.
Yes.
Do you understand? So it is not anything so strange. And I think Hajia Aminu has a good chance of representing the people of Ayawaso East. He has a better chance. This is because he's well known. In fact, I tried visiting the constituency, you know, just to have a feel of what is going on. And she appears to be on the lips of a lot of people. That means the few people I spoke to, I cannot readily confirm if they are delegates. But just imagine if she's popular, if she's hailed, or if she is a popular candidate in the constituency, she's likely to emerge as the winner at the end of the poll.
So for the delegates polls, I think she was at 34%, Baba Jamal at 22%,
Exactly.
Honorable Mohammed at 3%, Dr. Yakubu Zando at also 3%, Najib at 1%. Undecided is about 37%. Anyway, so let me take this opportunity to introduce my other panel members who joined, KWAME OWUSU DANSO Esquire, His Excellency, President of Accountability Forum, and also a private legal practitioner. KWAME, good morning.
Good morning to you.
I hope you're good.
Yes, apologies for coming in late.
I understand.
Yeah.
Me and Paris, we know what happened.
I live far from town.
I know, but we know what happened.
What happened? No, I didn't go out last night.
We understand.
Yesterday, because of this program, I actually slept early, strangely.
Now you have to stop sleeping early.
And I woke up late. Yeah, I think I have to rather sleep late.
But welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, and then also lawyer ENOCH AFOAKWAH. He's a member of the MPP legal team and the only person not wearing fugu and in white this morning. AFOAKWAH, good morning.
Good morning, KOJO.
I hope you're doing well.
Oh, alhamdulillah, bismillahir rahim.
Is that why you are wearing white? The way you just done everything
remind you of Kenneth Rata.
Why are you going with this angle? So the last time you came for it, you black body.
White is glorious.
And black is. He's wearing black.
You know, when in movies, especially in African movies, persons who adore the black colors are deemed to be the devil or the demons in the movie. You see, so I'm talking about movies, especially African movies. Honorable is here. So people that are clothed with black colors in movies, especially Ghanaian movies, are mostly fetish. Mostly the demon incarnate within the movie or the Satan in the movie that is perpetuating evil. So those in white are mostly the reverend ministers or the angels.
But
have you ever seen an angel in black?
It's in movies.
Have you ever seen an angel in black in movies?
Hey, so but you're in reality now, so you
lawyer.
Very well.
Anyway, this table that you are shaking, you see the black man's mentality.
KWAME is okay.
So is that black?
It's okay. No, he
says he saw it in movies.
You can put out your phone lines and let the viewers call in.
I'm a black
to share
man.
their thoughts on it.
I wear black because I'm black.
You also want to start your own Zambia-Ghana discussion here. So, KWAME, I don't know whether you follow the Ayawaso East politics, but we were discussing it this morning, and my question to you is, how strong do you think the constituency executives are when it comes to such instances where a certain MP dies and there's a decision to be taken as to who should lead? How strong are they in the scheme of things?
It will be very difficult to get into the minds of the delegates or the executives to appreciate how they feel in respect of allowing the widow, contest in a general election. It will be very difficult to do that. However, I think it's imperative that we look at the persona of the person who is contesting. I think that should define anybody's decision in wanting to elect somebody or not. First of all, I think the party, I believe, has its own rules, and the party has its own constitution. And so if in the constitution nothing bars the widow or widower from contesting, I think that's the first step. Then they can contest. It's a very tricky situation because I've heard arguments from some people, using religion and all of that as the basis why there will be some bottlenecks. I, in the 21st century, don't think that religion or ethnicity or tribe should define a person's competence. If you are competent, you are competent. If you are not, you are not. It shouldn't be about whether the person is a female or a male or a small boy or an older person. So that being said, I think that the polls are telling, even though my brother BAWA-DUA is seeking to suggest that polls are polls, but polls do have, greater influence and impact. I think that has been demonstrated over the period. The world over, even in international politics, polls do play a role. It's not in all cases that they get it 100%, but in most instances, it actually changes the narrative. People should be confident that the person that I'm going to vote for may well be the one that will be victorious at the end of the day, so I don't waste my vote. So yes, even though I don't understand or I don't perhaps know the dynamics of the constituency in terms of their politics, but I want to just err on the side of the polls and to say that if that is what the poll is saying, then it appears that is what the people want. Now, the other argument has been about the fact that this is a general polls that we're seeing, but it is also very instructive to admit that it's a reflection of the general feelings of the people within the constituency, because all the delegates have family members, and if the family members are, telling them that this is the candidate that we want, then it may hold sway in determining who they are going to vote for in the final analysis. I think that given the popularity of the NDC and given what they are doing now, they should be very, they will be very cautious and very circumspect, in electing somebody who may not well represent the party within the constituency, because it's a very, of course, it's an NDC stronghold. But if you look at the last election and compare that with 2016, MPP lost a lot of its strongholds. So it's important to acknowledge that if you don't present a candidate who identifies with the people, you may not necessarily consider that particular place as your stronghold. Bono, for instance, it was all blue in 2016. And in 2020, it dipped a little bit. 2024 is gone. So this thing about is my stronghold, is fast depleting. People now vote based on their conscience. People now vote based on their current situation. People now vote based on, their aspirations, what they think this person can do for them, and not necessarily because this person is NDC or MPP. And I've been saying this, that in the next maybe 10, 15 years down the line, you will see things will change. That KOJO, you will just pick a form to go and contest. And people look at, I like this guy. The way he's talking, he has ideas, let me vote for him. This disease, the alpha and the beta, whatever they call them, the way they think is different, right? So this rigid mental set about strongholds and all of those things will change. Now, I'm saying this to mean that if indeed Ajia is the one that can represent the people in parliament, okay, and speak the minds of the people, so be it. And I think the MPP has shown us the way, right? Madam Lydia Al-Hassan, she did well. You may have your own disagreements with her, but she did well. She managed the constituency very well. In fact, it was very difficult for John DeMello, to take the seat. He tried several times, but because of the way she carried herself and conducted herself, the people always gave her the opportunity to come back to parliament and represent them. It's about representation. It's about who can speak for us. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So I have not met Hajia personally, but from what Honorable has said about her and what my brother has also said about her, I'm for her, 100%. Yes, Baba Jamal is a political stalwart. He's been there, he's done that. I think currently he even serves as the Foreign Affairs, the ambassador to Nigeria, High Commissioner, to Nigeria. I think it's a very big position. Representing Ghana on an international stage is very, very, crucial. So, and I don't know why he wants to come back, because he was an MP before. Which constituency? Yeah. Oh, no. So please, this one, Nima. No. He lost to someone. AFOAKWAH is where? Eastern region. Oh, so no. So please, let Nima people deal with their Nima matters. AFOAKWAH has, dealt with its AFOAKWAH matters. So on the basis of that, I don't hate him. I actually like his politics. But I think that he was rejected in AFOAKWAH, maybe because he was not representing the people well. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what
it was Amase who took the seat from him.
Maybe he was not representing the people well. So what has changed? That he thinks he can represent the people of Nima and its environs. And from what you are telling me, it means that the woman has worked herself, or has worked through has been part of the party, so to speak, the party's activities within that constituency. Even nationally. And the fact that she did not sit back because the husband was a member of parliament. She actually was an active player. You see, sometimes people don't know. I'm very certain that maybe they even had a discussion that, when you contest, I'll be supporting you from behind. There's also that the wife would say that, oh, my husband, you go. I will support you, first of all, with my finances. I will also support you with my understanding I have of the relationship I have with the grassroots. I will support you and all of that. So right now, as the man is not there, she's very capable to contest. So I wish her all the best, and I'm praying, and also because I'm a feminine, and women are taking over, so we need to support them and make sure that they take over and take care of us.
AFOAKWAH, considering what the NPP did in Tamale Central, where you decided not to contest for whatever reasons. Looking at the history of Ayawaso East, 1992, Yaya Seidu, NDC. 1996, Farouk Brahma, NDC. 2000, Mustafa Ahmed, NDC. 2012, Nasser Mahama Toure. And up till now, it has been in the fourth probably has been NDC. Would MPP still go and contest?
Let me say a very good morning to yourself and to your cherished guests on this platform, especially my big brother, His Excellency KWAME DANSO.
So that he doesn't.
The man in black.
The man in black.
As depicted in movies.
As depicted in movies. And to use your platform to congratulate the New Patriotic Party gallantly for developing and promoting the ideals and tenets of democracy. That last Saturday, we did what Napoleon couldn't do. That in spite of it, as an opposition party, we have started rebuilding to recapture in 2028 with the selection of our flag bearer, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who the generality of the Ghanaian people see as the incoming president of the Republic of Ghana come January 7, 2029. And inshallah, 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 it shall definitely come to pass.
He's wearing white.
KOJO, I also congratulate the gallant men that put themselves up for the honors task of holding the flag to lead us into the 2028 general elections. Engineer KWABENA Japan, Dr. Educhum, the former education minister, Dr. Brian Champon, and Honorable Ken Ohene Japan, for putting themselves up to help build the cause of democracy and to help develop the rudiments of our democratic tenets and ideals. They have done their bit. In all, although they did not secure the success of leading the party, it is only one person that was needed to hold the flag at the time, and that they have dutifully accepted and considered to their defeat in good faith, and have committed
Because I'm going to come to the topic.
It's very true. You see, I overheard you discussing the appeal outcomes of Madam Evangelist Dr. Mama Pat.
Yes.
Evangelist Dr. Mama Pat, and have gone into Ayawaso East extensively with Honorable and my learned brother Powers, of Powers and Powers Chambers.
Yes.
And that these are just mere intro, because they have done almost about 50 minutes.
But you say that substantively.
So we'll go in there. We'll go in there. Certainly, we'll go in there. So you asked a simple question. You asked a simple question that the seat has always been held by the National Democratic Congress since 1992, and that's a statement of fact. And it is also a statement of fact that apart from 1992, the New Patriotic Party has always contested the Ayawaso East elections as a political party. So it is not to say that because it is a stronghold of the National Democratic Congress, we will or will not contest. I don't take a decision for the political party called the New Patriotic Party, because as part of our organizational structure, the National Delegate Conference, the National Council are the organs that are mandated, the National Executive Committee are the organs mandated to take such decisions for and on behalf of the New Patriotic Party. And we are with the direction of the New Patriotic Party, because every political party has established the purpose of it, or the object of it, is to win political power and to be able to govern. Currently, we have a party 80-something seats in Parliament, of which we need more. It's been reduced by virtue of Akwitia and other areas. So we need more seats. And certainly, in our quest to rebuild, in our quest to reorganize, it's also a testament on our part to also challenge ourselves in even difficult areas to see how our performance is and how the people generally think of the New Patriotic Party as far as the outcomes of the 2024 general elections are concerned. It's over a year now. A lot of water has gone under the bridge. A lot of things has happened, and we need to test the ground to see how the general feel of the Ghanaian voter is. So that is the business of the leadership of the New Patriotic Party, to decide the direction of the New Patriotic Party as far as the Ayawaso East, how do you call it, constituency elections are concerned, which the Electoral Commission has scheduled a date purposely for that, as far as our constitutional undertakings are, that when the seat becomes vacant, there's a need for a by-election to be conducted, and that when a date is announced, political parties and actors who are interested, because it's not only political parties that contest for elections, independent candidates who don't belong to any political party also can decide to put themselves up in elections, and there are instances where independent candidates have won an election to become members of parliament. You talk of our own brother Eplats for BRAKO-POWERS East, and other members of parliament. You talk of Honorable Esiama for Formina in the 8th parliament, and you talk of other members of parliament who have gone solo or independent to win political parliamentary elections in this country before. So once political parties are reorganizing to contest, we also believe that probably some independent candidates may also show cause as to whether or not they also have the intention to lead Ayawaso East constituency is concerned. So it's early days yet. Let's wait for the opening of formal nominations by the Electoral Commission and see that at the close of the nominations, which candidates and from which stock are contesting the Ayawaso East parliamentary elections for the impending by-elections as has been scheduled.
Okay, thank you. So viewers will be monitoring the primaries, and GTV Ghana Broadcasting would also be giving you updates on the process. Any development would also inform you. So please keep your dials here, stay tuned here, and get all the live and appropriate and current and very accurate information on the primaries.
As far as the test of the succession of in all humility, widows to lead the quest, it has happened in both NDC and NPP, the major political parties, that Madam Honorable Linda Okulu, when her husband, in a painful manner,
started with
through
South,
through an accident, passed away. Desmond Okulu.
It started with Cecilia Amwa.
Yes.
That was MPP in 2000. Then it went to Lydia Okulu, which is NDC for Asante Achem South.
No, Linda Okulu, it's Shayosu Okulu.
That's Shayosu Okulu.
Shayosu Okulu in the Eastern region.
Then Lydia Alasan is
in the Greater Accra region.
Lydia Alasan, Ayawaso
West.
Then there was Ophelia Hayford also for Fantiman. Then there was the other one for Tempani. I don't remember the name. There was one for Tempani, and then now there's Hajia Amina. So MPP 3, NDC 3. So
currently it is only Ejoso that the widow did not put herself up for elections, as far as that is concerned. And that in all dates, you're
getting me the name. Yes. I think she's also to Lydia Akambariba.
Yes. And in all this, KOJO, the widows of the late 7 members of parliament has always prevailed. And the post from the venerable Musa Dankwa is suggesting that the outcome is not going to change. Let's see, because Musa Dankwa has been consistent in his accurate predictions. During the New Patriotic Party internal primary, he predicted rightly, and that if his margin of error as far as his polls are concerned is minimal, then it means that there's nothing that is going to change. But this is human nature, and in every analysis where the human being is the object of the study, there's no objective reality. So let's wait for the realist outcome later today, because I'm told the election is being held today. So let's wait for the real outcome today. And if indeed the margin of error, as I have said, is minimal or is insignificant, then automatically it's a done deal for the widow of the late Nasser, who has passed on, and may his soul rest in perfect peace. But I wish my own brother, Ambassador, His Excellency Ambassador Baba Jamal, I wish him well in this way. As far as we are concerned, we are subscribing to the Neutrality Act of the Americans in 1930, that it is dufiasem, and we are waiting to see the outcome. And certainly, it will be good for the New Patriotic Party in Ayawaso East constituency.
Right. Honorable, has there been any certain female MP that has died? I was trying to remember. No, do you have any? I'm just asking.
For their husbands to contest.
As far as I remember, I have not.
None. I know a few that I know happened after. Hajia Boforo was after. Angelina Bedinimisa was after. No. So none. So we've not been able to test.
So the reverse has not outplayed. So.
Anyway, but Honorable, in NDC, this new directive that has been passed, that 6 months, you need to resign if you intend to, and I like the way AFOAKWAH is clearing his throat. I refer to what MPP has also in place. If you intend to, you are an appointee of government and intend to contest any election at the party level, you need to resign 6 months ahead of time. What is informing this decision?
Well, I think that, you see, then there's a need to have discipline in the party. Now, we have had situations where a lot of government appointees, not just in NDC, have abandoned their work as government appointees and concentrate on campaign. And that affects the performance.
So like Baba Jamal is doing now?
Yeah, so you see he's here campaigning. The work in Nigeria is suffering. You understand? It will ultimately affect the performance of the government as a whole. So it is important that the president is put on the alert that this person will not function properly within this period and make a replacement so that you concentrate. So I think that is a good thing. Also to protect the members of parliament who have all this while, worked to organize the party, to keep the party strong, from government appointees, chief executives, ministers who will come and, as it were, disrupt the activities of the MPs. Because if I'm a member of parliament and I think that there's a threat at home, you will see that you spend a lot more of your time in the constituency trying to maintain your seat rather than doing the work of parliament. So that also affects it. But in the case of the NDC, I think also that it's a constitutional requirement. It's not the first thing that this has happened. It is not the first time, it will not be like. So insofar as it remains part and parcel of our politics, I think what the General Secretary did was just to state the obvious. It is not the first time this is happening. And I think that is good for purposes of party display. Let's remember that the directive is not saying that you cannot contest. It will be a different ball game if you say that you cannot contest. In that case, your right to contest or take part in election would have been trampled with or as it were. But they are saying that resign so that you can concentrate and then government business does not suffer. Then you do not distract the MP, the city MP from doing his work. I think it's a good decision.
Let's listen to Fifi Kwete himself when he said it. So if we can have the sound.
Hello, please, what's going on? What's going on? Position and do an excellent job, if not even better job. So we must have the same principle at all. I think it's simply an issue of reducing the level of greed. You understand? You alone, one man no chop. What's your problem? What's your problem? So if you want to work for the party, you leave your position in government and come and contest and win. Then we know you are fully dedicated. But this situation where you are trying to be one leg here, one leg there, even constitutional review is even bringing a provision that even if you are a member of parliament, it's no more going to be permitted once it's approved for you to be both in parliament and in government at the same time. Why? You alone, why? So it's the same kind of principle. You want to work for the party, resign from whatever position you are, 6 months to time, and come and dedicate yourself and work for the party. The work for the party is a great work. Some of us, that's what we're doing. We are not in government, we are not holding any position, fully dedicated to the party because that's a great job to be done. So if you feel that's a great job, join us and let's do that fully in order to help the country.
Okay, so that's what Fifi Kwete said. He says, one man no chop, technically. So, AFOAKWAH, I saw you shaking your head and clearing your throat when Honorable BAWA was speaking.
Yeah, because it's coming from the stock of the NDC, and Honorable BAWA being a member of parliament on the ticket of the NDC will have a difficulty going into the merits of this so-called directive from the General Secretary of the NDC. KOJO, political parties are run pursuant to the constitutions that regulate the conduct of the political parties. And once you subscribe to the members of a political party, you subscribe to follow through the constitution of that political party. That is the guiding Bible or the guiding principle that regulates membership. The current directive from the General Secretary of the NDC, does it have a place in the constitution of the NDC as promulgated by themselves as members of the NDC? If no, then that said directive is similarly unconstitutional and is void ab initio. It has no place in the democratic space of the National Democratic Congress. Again, President Mahama appointed his appointees pursuant to his prerogative of appointments bestowed on him by the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And certainly, once the Constitution has granted the President the powers to appoint, it means that as far as accountability is concerned, they are accountable to the President. And as to whether or not they are performing the mandate placed on them, it is only the President that notes whether what he asked his appointees to do are exactly what they are doing. Recently, we heard the President launch a code of conduct for appointees of his government. Is it the case that this directive has a space or has a place in the code of conduct for appointees of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama? Because President Mahama knows this, that some appointees have the quest to go back to serve in political office as far as the internal political competitions of the NDC is concerned. I am beginning to have some inclination, and my inclination is to the effect that there is this view that the national chairman of the NDC, Mr. Johnson Ketia, is nursing a presidential ambition. And if successful, the General Secretary is going to be his running mate, Mr. Fifi AFOAKWAH. The Chief of Staff is also nursing a presidential ambition. My own brother and uncle, Mr. Julius Debra, is also nursing an ambition. And you are aware, Kojo, you have been a student of journalism and a student of politics.
Your awareness?
Oh yes, because you are a journalist. You are aware that the Chief of Staff controls the appointees of His Excellency. And certainly, by virtue of his office, most of these appointees attach some reverence to the office of the Chief of Staff. And that, in terms of whipping, if they control the party and have space in serving the government of the day, then automatically they will dominate the internal elections of the NDC.
And that's to say that the Chief of Staff has come out to say he's not contesting.
I have not heard so.
Okay. I have
in the past seen him organize some keep fit, trying to associate and trying to do all manner of things.
Do keep fit. It doesn't mean they are contesting. Julius has been doing keep fit with the wife for a very long time.
You say, he's a strong man. Adma.
I'm not looking to his strength. I'm not saying that he's a strong man.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
He's a strong man.
If they want to contest, they will declare.
No, he has actually said he's not going to contest. But please go on.
But you don't hold brief for him, KWAME.
So
let me make my submission. It's a perception, and it's a presumption, and these are rebuttables, and it's rebuttable from the persons themselves until nominations are formally opened and closed. Where lies they fail to pick the nominations, then we can confidently say that they have no intentions. We have had cause to see political actors saying they have no interest. By the end of the day, in the 11th hour, you see them competing strongly in such races. Kojo, is it the case that the General Secretary is protecting the arena for his eventual leader to succeed in the flag bearership contest? Is it the case? So that in the event he succeeds, he's also offered the opportunity as the running mate to the ticket of Mr. Johnson Ketia on the ticket of the National Democratic Congress. It's early days now. We have seen some schools of thought are also positioning Her Excellency Jenano Opoku-Agyeman as flag bearer and either Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa as running mate. I don't know why the target of the NDC is to choose a running mate from the voter region and a flag bearer from other stock. But that seems to be the ideal mathematical equation that the pairing mathematicians are putting forth. And this is why it is leading to an unconstitutional act of presenting a policy that has no space within the constitution of the NDC. If they feel that this is something they ought to do, then they must do what is needful by engaging in constitutional amendments to introduce this amendment into their constitution that will become a constitutional act that will regulate the conduct of all parties so that people can choose to either serve only in the NDC national headquarters or in any of the organs of the NDC, or choose to continue to serve in the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I believe that appointees are not accountable to the General Secretary. They are accountable to the appointing authority, that is His Excellency the President.
On that point, that our appointees are not accountable to the General Secretary.
Yes.
But accountable to
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
September 2020, in 2023, July 2023, the NPP issued a directive which said that regional and constituency party executives who wish to contest in the primaries in constituencies with certain MPs shall resign from their respective positions no later than September 20th. Metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives in constituencies where the party has sitting members of parliament are not eligible to contest in the parliamentary primaries for those constituencies.
Are you aware that this provision...
Are this in the constitution of NPP?
Are you aware that this provision has a space clearly codified, black and white, in the Constitution of the New Patriotic Party as amended?
As amended after the 2023?
No. I'm asking, are you aware that this provision that you have read ceremoniously to your viewers, your cherished viewers, has a space, has a place, clearly codified in black and white in the Constitution of the New Patriotic Party as amended? Because the Constitution of the NPP has been amended several times.
When?
It has not
the
only
amendment that has this codification, when?
It has not only seen one amendment as far as the life of the New Patriotic Party Constitution is concerned.
Let's situate this. You are saying that this particular directive has seen it's codified in your amendment. I'm asking which amendment? Because this amendment came after this. Then at the point when this was done, it was also unconstitutional, like you just said.
This policy, you see, our party, the National Executive Council, the National Council of the party, has the powers to perform a certain act, which the Constitution of the NPP guarantees it, in terms of promulgation of policies to regulate the conduct of elections.
Okay.
And similarly, once that was done earlier, we took further steps to go through a constitutional amendment process to introduce same into the Constitution of the New Patriotic Party.
Okay.
And it is now clearly codified in the Constitution of the New Patriotic Party. That makes it a constitutional act, but not an unconstitutional act.
Okay.
So if you are a member of a New Patriotic Party in the future government of His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia in 2029, and you decide that you want to serve under Dr. Bawumia's government, you go straight into Dr. Bawumia's government and serve. If you want to remain a party officer and serve at the party's headquarters, you have a clear choice to make as an individual, not to cohabit between His Excellency Dr. Bawumia's government in 2029, 2029, and serving at the headquarters or the regional secretariat or the constituent secretariat of the New Patriotic Party in the same time. So we have a clear constitutional provision that regulates the conduct of such instances, but the NDC has none.
Okay.
That is why I am suggesting to them, as a lawyer, that it is in the interest of the NDC to help develop the cause of democracy. And democracy goes with the rule of law. And certainly, once it is an unconstitutional act, they should take further legal steps to make it a constitutional provision that the membership of the National Democratic Congress have adopted onto themselves. That will serve their interest than to wait that the last hour somebody will go to the court to file an injunction to restrain the NDC from proceeding with such a policy as it exists. Because once it is unconstitutional, it is unconstitutional. And that it becomes an aberration. If any person walks to my office to say that, lawyer, help me go to the court, I'm instructing you to go to the court to file an injunction to restrain the said proceedings, certainly I will accept the onerous tax, and even if it is a pro bono, and serve the interest of the person, because we need to protect the cause of democracy. So, KOJO, it is just a free advice to the NDC that they should refrain from engaging in an unconstitutional act. If they indeed want to make that a policy, they should go through the process of making sure that they do an amendment. They have time. Because as I read it, they have April for 2026 for their constituency elections, May for regional level elections, and June for national level elections or so ever. That's what I read from. So they still have time. And once they have time, they can go through those processes and make sure that they do things and do it right. But it shouldn't be that they are protecting the candidature of one candidate. It shouldn't be that they are promoting an establishment candidate. Currently, the policy as it stands now seems to suggest that it is a promotion of an establishment candidate.
Who is that establishment candidate?
It is the promotion of an establishment candidate. People want to divide the government and take over the party.
It suggests to you that
it suggests to me and many others. Yesterday, I was having a conversation somewhere in Accra with some people. And I think the conversation, we were about 12 of us. About 7 of them were NDC members.
So now
and they shared in that.
Now you have disciples, 12.
But yes. And these were the things they were sharing. That because this person wants to become the flag bearer and that person wants to become the running mate, they just want to protect their interest by shielding all others aside to perpetuate their interest. And that will not inure to the benefit of the collective good of the people of the National Democratic Congress and to the Ghanaian people in totality. So we should refrain from doing such unconstitutional acts. Right. It is early days yet, and we are just watching. As I mentioned, that we subscribe to the Neutrality Act of the Americans in 1930, but because it affects democracy and because it affects the rule of law, we must suggest alternatives to the NDC to do things and to do things in the right manner so that the people of Ghana benefit from the democratic tenets that we are building together.
Right. Kwame, this move that Fifi Kwete announced, does it strengthen internal party democracy or it further weakens it?
Well, that's a very good question, Kojo. I have, on many occasions, indicated that the NDC as a political party has become very attractive. Very attractive to the young people of this country, not because the young people in this country believe that they have all the, if you like, sense, in governing the country, but that it is a party that has always allowed for people to contest elections, irrespective of who you are. That it is not a system that hinders progress, or the party does not, appear to be one that hinders progress. It actually allows for people to contest, you could be the son of a poor man. Once you identify with a certain group of people and you think you can best perform in a particular role, you can contest those elections. So it's one of the reasons why a lot of people are gravitating towards, or have gravitated really, towards the NDC. Now, the NDC as the largest political party in government obviously has a lot to deal with, both internally and externally. And one would expect that in dealing with the internal matters, the people who have been so elected to manage the affairs of the party would deal with those internal matters. And then for the externalities, you would have people who are supposed to, work for the purposes of ensuring the survival of the government, DANSO, but which ultimately also benefits the NDC party. When I heard the pronouncement made by Honorable Fifi Kwete, I was taken aback. Indeed, I was wondering why this and why now? And why the sudden craze for change within a party? You only go for change when things are bad. In fact, if it is not broken, you don't fix it. So what is so broken in the NDC that needs fixing? this system that they are talking about has been a system which has been in existence for a long time, which system has never affected the operations of government. Indeed, if for nothing at all, it strengthens the operations of both government and party. So it beggars belief why Honorable Fifi Kwete, together with, I don't know whether it was FEC that came out with a decision or whoever, you know, come out with this decision that if you want to contest, you must resign 6 months prior. Two things come to mind. Number one, yes, that others must also get the opportunity to serve in government. But is it just an opportunity to serve in government or to further promote the policy prescriptions of government which must inure to the benefit of the good people of this country? The only reason why you and I, KOJO, have not been given an appointment is not because we are not intelligent. It is because we have not, in the estimation of the president, met the standard required to manage specific positions. And so if the president goes for Malik Basintali, in the estimation of the president, Malik Basintali best
the boxes.
Absolutely. Sure. If the president goes for my brother and friend Sami Jemfi and Edwin Tamakulu, it is because they, in the estimation of the president, you know, can help the president further achieve the promises that he made to the good people of this country.
Fact.
So is it that we are raising all of these issues, coming out with guidelines in order that we can question the president, in order that we can undermine the president, in order that, as has been, you know, very plainly put forward by my brother AFOAKWAH, that we promote and project certain people within the party? Is that the case? Is that the situation? Because I do not see what has gone wrong, for which reason a decision would be taken to prevent people from offering their services to the good people of this country. In any event, Edwin Tamakulu doubling as the director of legal, has it affected the party's existence in any way? Or that Sami Jemfi being the director of communications is honorable not sitting here communicating for the party? Or that Malik Basintali being the deputy communications director of the party, is communication not happening for the party? Or that Fifi Kwete, General Seydou Ketia, and all those who are board chairmen, has it affected the performance of the party? So you take a decision that surreptitiously inures to the benefit of specific people, because those people are occupying boards. Honorable, please. You see this one, you defend your party, but let me speak. Because you see, board chairmen and board members are not part of this guideline. Yes. They are not. So then the question then becomes, are they not also occupying party position? Or that are they not also serving the in government?
Perhaps they are not chopping, like he said, one man.
It's not about chopping.
But that's what he said.
You see, that is my problem. If you, and look, where we are now as a country, and I want to borrow the words of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, resetting the country. We are resetting. So if you are resetting, there are some practices which were done in the past which did not benefit the growth of this country. Those practices must be extinct. We must eschew all of those practices from our body politic. That is how we grow. So this thing about you know chop, so come and chop. Come and chop what? Come and chop what? So we are saying that if you occupy a position, you have to go and steal. Is that what we are promoting?
You have to go and chop.
Go and chop what? But go and chop what? KOJO, go and chop what? We are encouraging people to go and steal. That is what we are doing. Because if you say one man no chop, it means that you are creating the impression that the person who has been given the opportunity to serve in that position is chopping. Is chopping what? He can only chop the monies of the good people of this country. Is that not the case? So if you say that one man no chop, you are encouraging other people to also go and chop. We have to start investigating them because he's giving us a clue that people are chopping.
OWUSU must work.
Yes. Because then he's giving us a clue that people who have been appointed by His Excellency, the President of this country, to go and occupy positions which will inure to the benefit of this, the good people of this country, are chopping. So we have to investigate who and who are chopping. That is what he is seeking to suggest. It's quite unfortunate, KOJO. And you see, let me tell you something. The survival or otherwise of a government, okay, is predicated on the support of the party. That once there's a huge dichotomy between the performance of government and the support of the party, there's a deeper internal crack that is created, which crack, if not careful, will further widen and affect the fortunes of the party in subsequent elections. So if they have no lessons to learn, they should learn lessons from the negative experiences of the NPP, because they had that. At some point, in an attempt to control the workings of the party, there was a huge disconnect between government and party. There was a huge disconnect between government and party. And we have the benefit of history. That is why we have a political experiment that allows for people to demonstrate democracy in a manner that identifies with their party's ideals and ideologies. So political parties are democratic, institutions. They are not private institutions, which private institutions must serve the interests of specific people. I think that people must begin to understand where we are as a nation, and that politics has changed. Politics. The politics that we used to do in the 1990s, in the 2000s, have changed. Now, KOJO, you have very discerning minds. You have people who will, dissect all promises, all right, pitch that against another person's promises and say, and will tell you that, no, I prefer this one, I don't prefer that one. You now have an electorate that will not go and vote for political leaders because they are handsome. People have moved far beyond that. That all because this person is an Ashanti, so I'm going to vote for him because no. Now people are very discerning. So if you are taking a decision, you don't have to take a decision based on personal emotions and sentiments. Because this decision is purely on emotions. And you see, if what I'm hearing from the grapevine is true, which I don't wish to put out, then it's quite unfortunate that people are displeased because perhaps they did not get what they want. They did not get what they want. They did not get what they wanted to get. So please, let us be very, very careful and tread cautiously. Because in the final analysis, you may think that you are taking a decision that will benefit your parochial interest, but may have broader consequences for the government in power. And let me make this point. You see, President John Dramani Mahama has a 4-year mandate, which 4-year mandate started on the 7th day of January 2024. 2025. So he has till 2028 December to leave office. January, sorry, yes, since January to leave office. So why the rush? Why the man just simply took over? Why the rush? Why are we acting as though we want the president to fail?
People's campaign office.
Because people it's so unfortunate how instead of supporting the government succeed, people are now, clamoring for positions and demonstrating intentions and indicating to the good people of this country that they intend to contest for an election. I mean, to replace the president of the Republic of Ghana. We are so much in a hurry. We are so much in a hurry that instead of contributing, in support of the performance of this government, we are rather going around campaigning. that we want to lead the party in 2028. It's quite unfortunate. I can understand party cohesion is important. I can understand people are disappointed because I have had the opportunity of speaking to some NDC grassroots members who are displeased, yes. But it's to be expected because you cannot satisfy everybody, within a specific space of time.
Besides just 1 year.
It's just 1 year. You cannot satisfy everybody. But it appears that people are using the CEOs and the ministers' inability to satisfy some of the grassroots as the basis of launching their presidential ambition. When you do that, you are creating disaffection for the party. You are creating disaffection for the government. They should hasten very cautiously. Yes, you can have ambition, but ambition without vision is dangerous.
Right.
And so, these guidelines, yes, may potentially be good, but I think the how and the way and manner they have sought to put it out, for me, is problematic. And they have to relook at it and then come out with guidelines that finds expression in, first of all, how people can freely perform their obligations to the good people of this country, but also be able to serve the party.
Thank you. Powers, does this in any way suggest that there is a disconnect, Braka?
Any other debate is speculation. And I think it is important to situate the conversation. Is it a personal directive from Fifi Fiavi, or is it a party decision? Sometimes when we are engaging in a conversation, we must be able to clearly delineate between a personal ownership of such decisions and whether or not it is a collective decision. In fact, I've had many NDC members, some even communicators, criticize the General Secretary as though it was his personal decision. Is this decision legitimate? And I've heard on the table, some say that this is unconstitutional. My brother AFOAKWAH says it was unconstitutional. The thing is that, let's ask ourselves, does a constitution contain everything? The answer is no. Which is why the 1992 Constitution, there are instances where the Supreme Court has to read meaning into the Constitution. Why? Because the Constitution cannot contain everything conceivable. Does it mean that when you do something that the Constitution has not said anything about, it's unconstitutional? No. Unless what you do contradict any of the provisions of the Constitution. We must be able to put the conversation the way they should be. There's nothing unconstitutional about the whole directive. We should be asking ourselves, what is the motive? What is or what are the reasons for such a directive? Because I'm saying that this directive will serve not only the good people of Ghana, but even the governing National Democratic Congress. Because why? You have people who are in positions. They are double-minded, who are suffering, Ghanaians. These are people who must spend precious time to attend conferences, make decisions, design policies to advance to go and think about party politics, and let those who are serious-minded and would want to advance the development of this country to concentrate on the governance of this country. These are matters that will rather inure to the benefit of Ghanaians. So when I hear people say that it's unconstitutional, you can't situate it within the framework of the constitution of the NDC, they are crying more than the NDC people. You do, that is not the constitution, that is unconstitutional. And the constitution must not say everything. Why? If a constitution contains everything, then we will not be able to carry it along. Do you think that if the 1992 constitution contains every conceivable thing, we'll be able to carry it the way it is portable now? Have you seen the US constitution before?
So what is his point? What's your point?
The point is that the directive will inure to the benefit of Ghanaians. What you are saying, that it will rather create a situation, and that there are some people who will be benefiting from the directive, I don't think it's a sound argument to be making. Why? Every decision will affect some people. Must every decision benefit everybody? Every decision will affect some people. If you are in government and you feel that you are eyeing a party position, resign. This is as simple as ABC.
So the board members must also resign.
That is a different argument.
How is it a different argument?
No.
What is good for the goose must also be good for the goose.
The thing is that why should a board member resign?
Why? Is it not
The board member, is it the only member on the board? Is it the only member on the board?
This is illogical. What is
illogical?
Because the point is that if the person also
please, you are done with your argument. Let me, please. Why do you double in board member? Who is a board member? And even the word is board. It's not a one-man board. This is a board. Why do you sit there and say a board member too should resign? Is there a sound argument to make? When you AFOAKWAH, you are done.
Can write your point
Even AFOAKWAH, you are done. Yours was unconstitutional. It's baseless. You can't argue. It's not something that is sound that can even stand the test of time. Because the NDC constitution must not contain everything. Why must it be spelled blue-black before you know that it is unconstitutional or it is constitutional? KOJO, the argument is that
Your choice of words.
relax. KOJO, the argument is that you cannot be saying that, you cannot be saying that by extension, because it affects some political appointees, so it should be extended to the board members, and because it has not been extended to board members, it's unfair. That is not a sound argument to be making. You get it? This is a directive that will help. KOJO, I'm saying that
you can't just say it's not a sound argument and not substantiate it. No, you should substantiate it. Yes, we are having intellectual discussion.
Don't worry yourself over it. His point is that we should rope in board member, and I'm saying it's not a sound argument.
So justify why I say
I'm not even responding to you.
You're making anything arguments.
If you are thinking is to the effect that board members have no space in governance, then you don't understand corporate governance.
Who says board members have no space? I'm saying that a board, why would you say that a board member should resign, and on what ground? On what ground?
So
does it bring
I didn't know the people that promote policies for
but I've even advised, I'm sure KWAME is not listening. I've told you.
I'm smiling behind you when you are talking.
No, forget it. He's not listening. Sometimes it's important for people to listen. When you make your argument, listen to other sound argument. The argument is that you have been given a ministry or a state institution to govern. You are the head, the administrative head. In fact, when you look at
the back stops with you.
Exactly. When you look at the constitutional framework, administrative, what do they do? Do they sit idle by and allow people to do whatever they want? These are people who take decisions. These are people who do the working. So, if you are eyeing a partisan position or internal party policy, position, you must resign. It's a fair decision. I don't think this decision is unfair.
You don't think, I get your angle, but again, you don't think that the decision to not include board members was done because the people who were passing this are benefiting from that angle? Because the truth of the matter is that board members together with the chairman is part of the board. So the board have a governing responsibility over the administrative head you are talking about. Even though operationally they are not there, but at that level, they set the corporate governance tone for.
The answer is simple. Even when it comes to board members, when a board is taking a decision where a board member has a personal interest, what do? Do they participate in the decision making?
No.
What do? They recuse themselves.
You recuse yourself.
Exactly. So, does his absence affect the decision making? And would his presence affect the decision making? One person against 20, let's say 10, or is on odd number. So maybe 5, 7. What I'm saying is that, and is it when you say that because those who made the decision, why Fifi Shavi Kwete, is he the only person on the? Is he the only member of the National Executive Committee or the Functional Executive? Is he the only member? Is he the only member? You are speculating. You are speculating about people contesting for positions. Do you understand? You are speculating that this person is hatching an ambition, but the person has not said anything. That's speculation. The thing is that, and they will not come and deny because
formally they don't come out to deny formally.
They won't come and deny because you have put such matters in public. Why? Are you the one to dictate the conversation for them? What I'm saying is that you cannot say that because Fifi communicated. Fifi is just a communicator. He communicated the party's decision. So why is it the point of attack? And I've told you that the attack is not even emanating from some members on this panel. But even I've heard some NDC members criticize Fifi Kwete, telling him that he should be careful, he should tread cautiously. But they are forgetting that Fifi is only communicating. And KOJO, in any case, do you think Fifi will put out this message without running it by the president?
I don't think so.
You think the president will not be on notice?
They are trying to tell you that the party is separate from government.
You think the president... What are you talking about? Who is trying to tell you? They will not take, because the president...
So the president told them that people must resign 6 months prior.
Okay. So the president has no power. The president also asked his minister to contesting flag bearers to resign.
The thing is that this decision...
You remember in 2007?
Will avoid conflict of interest situation. It will reduce the risk of people having double mindsets. Do you understand? The risk whereby people are double-minded whilst trying to take decisions that affect the will of the people. So issues about unconstitutionality, these are realms of absurd.
Continue with the discussion. Okay. So this is from OWUSU Bismarck Dache Hene. He says, good morning, Senior KOJO. KOJO Dafugu is looking sharp. It's a top-tier look for the show. Thank you. I'm sending a message to my friends in Zambia. Regarding the Agrada case, I appreciate your initial take. Cutting a 15-year sentence down to 1 year is a huge talking point for the legal system. Glad you are shining a light on this morning. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Bismarck. Victor says that please tell Powers, I and Honorable that I am coming for their... Okay, Powers and Honorable that I'm coming for their fugu. So Powers and Honorable, I think somebody of your body size wants to come for your fugu. He's not choosing mine because I look bigger. This is also from Dodu. He says that Hajia lived with her husband for 12 years, so she have no chances NDCs for the people. Okay, I don't know what this means, but if Hajia can be MP, she have to by herself, but not following her husband's steps. NDCs for the people. I don't know what this means, but Lawyer AFOAKWAH, this is for you. Lawyer AFOAKWAH should stop wasting his time and energy about NDC. MPP will never come back to power today or tomorrow. As for the Jubilee House, Bawumia will not come close to even Afrikiko restaurant. This is from Kweku La Paz. AFOAKWAH, this one is somebody who is and build his own, go and build his own chair. Yes. I'll read the last one, then I'll take a quick break. NDC is so disappointing. A certain agenda in the country. This is from Eddie in Achimota. So we'll be taking a quick break. When we come back, we'll be continuing with our discussions. We'll look into the aftermath of the NPP presidential primaries, and then whether we should call it renaming or the back naming of the international airport in Ghana. We'll be right back after this break.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa, we are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
TV license legend. KWAME knows that by paying his TV license, he's supporting GBC, our public service broadcaster, and he's making a real difference. KWAME's contribution helps bring our communities closer together. Because of KWAME and others like him, we will all have access to amazing TV programs, educational content, plus broadcasting infrastructures are maintained and our culture is beautifully promoted. So GBC is asking all to respond to this civic obligation and pay your TV license fee. For individuals, it's 3 CDs per month or 36 CDs per year. If you have multiple sets, meaning 2 or more in your household, it's 60 CDs per year. For commercial institutions, it's your number of TV sets by 36 CDs per year, and you pay the invoiced amount directly to GBC. So let's all take a moment to appreciate KWAME, the TV license legend. Wherever you are, just dial *447*333# and follow the prompt. It's your civic duty, so pay your TV license today. GBC, the authentic and trusted voice of Ghana.
WAS is 80 years old. Hooray! Join us to kick off the celebrations for this historic milestone. It's the launch of our 80th anniversary and a special book launch on the school's history, authored by Dr. Charles Prempe, esteemed academic from KWAME Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Featuring an inspiring lecture from Professor Clements Bansumwa, former president of Christ Apostolic University College, both alumni of WAS. Mark your calendars on Friday, February 13, 2026 at the Ghana Shippers Authority Hall, Accra. Time is 3 p.m. sharp. Keynote speaker and guest of honor is His Royal Majesty King Takiteko Chu II, Gamanche. WAS at 80, Lord Chui Imashi.
MedShay, natural mosquito repellent, highly recommended by Ministry of Health, CHAS and all ages and skin type. MedShay is available nationwide. Contact us on 0244892413. This advert is approved by FDA.
Welcome back. Proudly sponsored by Bank of Africa and NPA, Current Agenda, your most authoritative news analysis platform. Well, so we heard that there is some discussions and airport to Accra International Airport. Various reasons have been given by the different sides of the table. Some saying that it does not symbolize, it does not give a good representation as a country, having the gateway into the country being named after Kotoka. Others also have explained that for them it's symbolic. It doesn't speak about any coup, but it speaks to a certain symbolism. Which side is right, we can never tell. But at this time of our national development, after all the many things that is bedeviling this country, all these things that are worrying us and troubling us, it's a change of name of the airport, the one thing that should occupy our thoughts and our minds at this moment. We'll have a soundbite on when the reasons were being given. Then after that, I'll come in studio with my panel to discuss the issues.
And we are changing the name of our airport from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. So a bill will be brought by the Minister for Transport for the name of the airport to be changed from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. So the Accra International Airport bill will also come.
Well, from the Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. It's fair to indicate that that was the name before, and then it was changed, and now we are technically reverting to what it used to be. But the reasons given as the the lawyers will say the ratio for the name change is what, for me, as again, I'm a Ghanaian, so I have a right to speak, is what baffles me. But again, on this panel, I listen more and talk less. Honorable.
Yes, thank you very much, Kojo. Just before I deal with the Kotoka term, I thought that you would have given me the opportunity to respond to the various contributions.
It's only fair because it's NDC and you started,
exactly.
so yes.
And so let me just, an individual document. It is not a personal document of the General Secretary Fifi Kwati. It is not a personal document of the chairman or any NDC executive. It is a document of the national executive of the party. So it is a party document. I have a copy of the document in my phone here. If you look at the title, it says that guidelines for the elections of NDC party executives at all levels, pursuant to Articles 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 33, and 40 of the Constitution of the NDC. So this is a document arising out of the NDC provisions of the NDC Constitution. So clearly, a constitutional document. It derives its validity based on powers conferred on the National Executive Council to provide guidelines for NDC elections. So it's a constitutional document. The national chairman or the general secretary, they have not indicated in any forum that they are coming to contest elections. And mind you, these elections are not just about presidential elections. These are branch, constituency, regional, and national elections. So if I have aspiration to be president, to contest presidential primaries, what does that got to do with branch elections? So I think that whilst we may disagree on the aspects of the guidelines, as some people think, to situate it as though it were a personal document coming from this national executive, I think that it is not the case. And it's important that we put this out there for the public to know. Now let's deal with Kotoka. I think it's an interesting matter, but for me, this has been long overdue. For many years, I have been thinking about the whole thing. Why Kotoka International Airport? Why Kotoka International? For many years. And I think my heart relaxed when this announcement was eventually made. You see, we do not name places, monuments, routes out of nothing. We name them for specific purposes. Largely, sometimes, to celebrate a hero, to signify something that the people admire, to signify some gain, some special activity, something special that has happened to the country due to the activity or involvement of some person. So you have the KWAME Nkrumah Avenue, you will have a Ojetebi Lamte Circle, JB Dankwa Circle, all these things. These are persons who have contributed positively to the development of this country. So if you go outside Ghana, you see that airports will normally be named very top people who have contributed either in the independence struggle or the development of the country. So you go to Nigeria, you see Azikiwe International Airport. You will see Julius Nyerere Airport in Tanzania. You will see Jomo Kenyatta in Kenya. If you go to Senegal, you have Blaise Diagne, and before then, Sédar Senghor. These were people who contributed to the development of these countries. So you ask yourself, come to Ghana, and the first thing you meet when outsiders come is they see Kotoka International Airport. They'll be wondering, oh, so who is Kotoka? And the only thing you can say is that, oh, he overthrew a democratically elected government. Not just a democratically elected government, but that of KWAME Nkrumah. You see Boulevard KWAME Nkrumah. So even in the West African sub-region and the world, you will see that KWAME Nkrumah is celebrated. And now, as we are celebrating, we now celebrate to change the name, to reflect, not to give that image outside there, that we are celebrating Kotoka because he overthrew KWAME Nkrumah's government. And let me say that we are not just restricting it to the fact that it's KWAME Nkrumah's government, but because it's a democratically elected government which has been overthrown. That is key to say. Apart from that, I think also that the continuous naming and promotion of that airport as Kotoka International Airport It's unconstitutional, even under our current regime. I say because, you see, somewhere in 1993, and this is common knowledge to everybody, the NPP political party went to court to challenge the celebration of 31st December using public funds as a holiday. Their argument was that under the 1992 Constitution, we are enjoined under Article 3 and 35 to make sure that there are no coup d'etats, to resist it, and to ensure that even when the government is overthrown, we should work to restore it. So, if you promote or celebrate 31st December as a public holiday using funds, public funds, and then in your constitution, you are supposed to be resisting it, you are now reducing the faith in people. You are stifling the resolve of the Ghanaian people to fight coups, because 31st December was a coup. In the same way, if we use public funds, name a public monument and national assets such as the airport in the name of Kotoka, because he overthrew Kwame Nkrumah's government, a democratically elected government, how does that promote our democracy? We are celebrating a coup d'etat. We are celebrating him because he overthrew the government, a democratically elected government. And we should not, in this new dispensation, be promoting that. And the judges in the 31st December case were very clear that nothing should be done to be seen to be promoting a coup d'etat. So, this is a straightforward thing. Of course, I disagree. I have a different view regarding what the majority leader said as being the reasons. But I believe that it's important that this renaming is done, especially Kotoka International Airport, so that we give the international world a better image of the Ghanaian people. We must see that, it must be seen that we are serious about our democracy. And nobody should think that you can gain by overthrowing the government. To name the airport after Kotoka is a gain. That's his memory for overthrowing the constitutional elected government of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And I like the minority leader, but sometimes there's so much naivety in some of his argument. What has that got to do with the Femapko being a Voltairean, what is his name? Aboja being a Voltairean, Okujeto being a Voltairean, and for now they are going to take the name of a Voltairean out of the name, and that they should rise up. What benefit does that make us? We should stop this politics thing. You can advance your reasons why you think that the name should not be changed, not to bring in politics, tribal politics especially.
Let's listen to what the minority leader said. Okay, you can continue. Yeah, the team would get it.
By and large, I think it's good that we change it. I would have preferred that the airport is named after Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. After all, you know, Kwame Nkrumah is a figure that internationally recognized. So that when you come to the airport, this is the land of the Kwame Nkrumah that everybody talks about the whole world. I think it would have been preferable to name it, in the name of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And
so, Honorable, on this one, if you read the General Kotoka Trust Act, that is the NLCD 339, in the section 1, if you go to the 8.1, if I remember correctly, the objects of the trust. In the 8.1a, it reads, the renaming of the Accra International Airport, Kotoka International Airport, after the late General Emmanuel Kwesi Kotoka, without any financial charge being placed on the trust fund. The naming of an army in full battle dress at the spot where he fell near the Accra International Airport. The acquisition by the trustees in favor of the trust of that portion of land situated at the Accra International Airport, where it is proposed to erect a statue of the late General Kotoka and to create a quiet garden to surround it. The provision of tombstones for the late General Kotoka and other gallant soldiers who fell during the insurrection of the 17th April 1967. And this was when some other people were attempting a coup, and then he was part of those who stood, and then they were shot at the international airport. The acquisition and furnishing of a house at a total cost not exceeding blah, 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 blah. The acquisition and furnishing of a house, again, the acquisition and furnishing of a house, one for the wife, one...
So in all this, you will see that all of that was framed and modeled to promote and reward him. But in what role did he play in 1960?
When there was an uprising and he stood against it, he was shot and killed.
The uprising was against a military government, which itself was unconstitutional. So the fact that he was stood against an uprising that was to overthrow a military government should not even inure to his benefit. The truth of the matter is that this was just a cover-up to reward him and remember him for him having overthrown the government of Kwame Nkrumah. And we are saying that nothing should be done in this current dispensation that promotes coup d'etats.
Right.
So that is why you see June 4th. We are no longer celebrating June 4th.
Okay.
Did June 4th not overthrow a military government? But some people say that June 4th was good because it brought changes.
Right.
But June 4th has been taken off.
Okay.
31st December has been taken off. Why should we continue to promote Kotoka, the coup maker? And some people also argue that, how about Rawlings? We still have places named after Rawlings. Restore democracy.
You are using a very hot knife to cut between butter. Powers.
He restored democracy. The current democracy that we are enjoying is partly played by Rawlings. You see, let me say something. Many were those in 2000 when Rawlings handed over were surprised. Because around the time, many of his peers, his contemporaries, were changing constitutions. Nyasingbe Yadema changed constitution. Konan Bidie, they changed constitution. Blaise Compaoré, they changed constitution so that they could run a third time. Rawlings never attempted any such thing.
Okay.
You understand? And at that time, he was still popular. This is a person who was convinced about the fact that Ghana needed to be ruled democratically. So he brought democracy, stabilized it. And this is what we are enjoying. So if we celebrate him, it's for purposes of his role in the democratic dispensation that we now enjoy.
I believe there are some who totally disagree with you, but it's in fact
has an opinion on this.
Powers, is it not a case that we are using today's morals to judge yesterday's actions and condemn same?
I don't see it in that light because, as Honorable intimated, it's rather of the New Patriotic Party versus Attorney General. The 31st December case is a well-known case where in the NPP challenged the celebration of we understand the context that our constitution does not promote coup makers and does not promote people who contributed towards the destabilization of the country. But KOJO, I heard the majority leader and I couldn't help but laugh. The reasons he advanced for the name change is laughable. The majority leader said that they are seeking to change the name of the airport to reflect the original landowners. And I said, Jesus Christ. Of all the reasons people have advanced in this country for the name of Kotoka International Airport to be changed, the Minister of Government Business, the majority leader, did not see any of these reasons, but to say that it was just to reflect the name of the originated by the Minister of Transport. And I was scandalized. If this will find expression in the memo in the memorandum accompanying the bill that they'll be sending to Parliament, then it is a disgrace to them. They are reverting the airport, the name of the airport, to the original name because the land was given to Ghana by the Gans. Is this a reason to advance a member of Parliament, not just a member of Parliament, a senior member of Parliament, a majority leader? Then I listen to the minority leader.
In many ways.
Gosh, Jesus Christ. These are people representing us in Parliament. These are people taking decisions for this country. His was even worse. What was his argument? That, when you do that, you will incur the displeasure of the airways. Jesus. Kojo, I'm just surprised that we have these individuals leading us in parliament. If they could be advancing this conversation, this kind of debate, then we are in for trouble. But he has forgotten so soon that his own party challenged the celebration of the 31st December coup. On what basis? Because it was inconsistent with the provisions of the 1992 Constitution. Then why is it maintaining that we should keep Kotoka over there? I support the name change, but I am opposed to any attempt to name the airport after Kwame Nkrumah. Why? Must we name everything after Kwame Nkrumah? Why? Kwame Nkrumah this, Kwame Nkrumah that. Why? Is Kwame Nkrumah the only person who fought for this country? And sometimes our attempt to project Kwame Nkrumah as a saint.
The leftists will not agree with you at all.
I'm not advancing the conversation to please them. They should not be projecting Kwame Nkrumah as a saint. And that should not be the conversation. Because we were in this country when the Preventive Detention Act was passed by Parliament, headed by Parliament with the leadership of Kwame Nkrumah, which he used to carry out some activities that, will not be a matter of even a pleasant conversation today.
Now the question I ask: are we not using today's morals? Because at the time maybe it was necessary.
The thing is that I'm not saying. First of all, I am a positivist, and I respect it. But sometimes I believe that you must also balance morality. So I'm more like a nuanced positivist, new positivist. Maybe some people may want to call it, but I'm more of a nuanced one. It was a law at that time, I agree. But don't project Kwame Nkrumah as a saint. He had his flaws. There were things he undertook which today I'm telling you will not be a subject of a pleasant conversation. So nobody should attempt to say that. We appreciate the role Kwame Nkrumah played. We appreciate his efforts towards independence. We appreciate the work he did. In fact, some of the factories he built are still standing today. We appreciate that. I am convinced that if Kwame Nkrumah had not been deposed, he would have done a lot for this country. There's no doubt about that. But let's not project him as a saint or as a man closer to God. No, that's not the case. And I'm saying that this airport must not be named after Kwame Nkrumah. We can't be naming everything after Kwame Nkrumah. Then we should change the name of this country. And we make it Kwame Nkrumah Republic. Why? Are the Nkrumahs the only people in this country? Are they the only people in this country? In fact, are they the only repository of history in this country? Are they saying that we don't read the history books? I did history at the University of Ghana. I did history at AFOAKWAH State College, and I did history at the University of Ghana. So the Nkrumahs, myself, I'm an Nkrumahist. Kwame's father-in-law, I used to be with him at the Freedom Center. Kwame's father-in-law. The Socialist Forum of Ghana. The Socialist Forum of Ghana.
You don't know his name. Just mention his name. Why are you saying Kwame's father-in-law?
No, but
mention his name.
So Kwame's father-in-law, Kwesi Pratt. I used to be with him at
the people are laughing in the MCR.
No, he wants me to promote it. Mention his father-in-law. So I did. So Kojo, I'm saying that's an Nkrumah. I don't think we should be naming everything after Nkrumah. He had his good sides, he had his flaws. We should acknowledge that. Right. And the thing is that, Kojo, I'm pushing that in order to, an honorable said that sometimes we need to give names that reflect the struggle of people and how they. I'm thinking this airport should not be named after Accra. It is. Accra is too pedestrian. And you see the larger conversation, and which sometimes when I hear the Minister of Transport speak, I just pent up. He is downplaying the cost of renaming. He's saying that it won't cost much because Accra is known.
When I heard that one, it came across as if he didn't know what he was talking about.
Renaming and rebranding of airport, Kojo, it won't cost you less than $5 million.
Because you are going to go through IATA, change documents, change everything. I don't think he knew. Anyway.
This man is saying that because Accra is a popular name, it won't cost as much. Aish. Is this an argument to be advancing? Sometimes government functionaries should consult before making public communications or before making public commentaries. You see, it's so annoying when you speak and you ask yourself. But quickly, Kojo, I'm saying that the airport should be named after King Takitewia the First. King Takitewia the First. It will be a pleasant name to give it to the airport, not Accra.
We'll pick it up again. And Kwame, I know you have a lot. You've written a lot, but in responding, I need you to pay attention to one question I've also picked from some of our viewers. Some are asking that at the time when the Constitution was being put together, before the 1992, it was a period from a coup d'etat, and eventually it was even signed into being a constitution by a coup d'etat leader. So if that is the case, at the point when it was being signed, but everything before 1992 was so that
I think that's pedestrian. I don't know if you want to go into that because what gave birth to the Constitution was by reason of some.
In fact, I think it's even the point that has been raised by
so it was not just by a coup leader. It was not just by a coup leader. You see, the referendum especially. I mean, different things went into that, and I don't think we should belabor it.
So
I don't think we should belabor it.
This is a comment by KWABENA, which we all know.
Yeah.
He says that the argument is often framed this way. Kotoka was part of blah, blah, blah. Our 1992 Constitution, the very document that anchors our democratic order and safeguards our freedom, was promulgated under a military regime and signed into law by a coup leader. Yet no serious person argues that we must discard it for the reason. We do not, because we understand that legitimacy can evolve and that constitutional value is not erased by the circumstance of origin. History often works that way. That's basically what he's saying.
I like him a lot. I like some of his write-ups. But let's also understand that it is not in all cases that people get their analysis right. He is wrong, and he knows he's wrong. He's just trying to stoke a fire that is needless. He is very, very wrong in this regard. But let's go to the substantive matter, which is very, very important. That, that we tend to speak about Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah in this light. It's quite unfortunate. Who don't want to sacrifice themselves for this country because the country fails to recognize their contributions. Nobody is saying that we should name everything after Kwame Nkrumah. Nobody is saying that. Nobody has said that. His name has come up. Is it justified? Yeah, Republic of Ghana. And I think the examples given by senior counsel here in respect of the other African countries, I think it only stands to reason that if you want to give recognition and prominence based on history to the one person who played a very important role for the purpose of gaining independence, then Nkrumah's name must come up. I mean, if it comes up for discussion, why do you immediately just, shoot it down as though it is not relevant in the equation? You don't have to do that. This thing about preventive detention, they know better. We all know. He knows.
Okay.
If you have been part of Socialist Forum of Ghana and you've been attending their meetings and things like that, and you are not being hypocritical, you would know why the Preventive Detention Act. Why? And I wrote it in my book. Why? You have somebody who just gained independence for the Republic of Ghana, okay, and wanting to unify the country. All the things which were done in, for instance, bringing Western Togoland to the conversation and for them to be part of Ghana. You know all the divisions that there existed. You know all the ethnicity that existed. You know all the extreme, division that existed. You know the attempts on the life of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. You know what transpired. You know why the Preventive Detention Act. So he just got up one morning and said that Parliament should pass a preventive detention act. You are saying that you are positivist. You said you are a positivist, and then you give credence to legalities. Did Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Somoto say that we have to pass a preventive detention act, or he went to Parliament? Are you saying that at the time, Parliament's approval of the Preventive Detention Act was born out of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's demands? What are you talking about? You are even disrespecting the parliamentarians at the time. You don't do that. So please, when we are having conversation about history, let's be fair and kind to history. You may disagree, yes, it's fine. But your reasons for disagreement must be justified. I've heard this argument, Kotoka, we've read it, and people are but why? The question is, why did we have PDA? Why? So let's not do these things. Now, as to why Kotoka's name must be taken out at this material moment. Look, Senior has explained to us why his name even came up and why they named Kotoka International Airport after him. It is because on the 24th of February 1966, he was the one who led the coup that ousted Osagyefo Dr. KWAME Nkrumah by the NLC. So this is a man who overthrew a sitting legitimate president of the Republic of Ghana. And because of that enterprise, which now later we've come to find out that was a derailing decision, because of that, we should name, or because of that, we named a national monument. The people who have consistently, without fail, derailed the progress of this country are the MPP people. Yes. Because it was a constitution of military men and policemen. The ideology, the brain, the agreement was that Osagyefo Dr. KWAME Nkrumah, in their estimation, wanted to be the only person to lead the country, wanted to create a one-party state. And gave other reasons, which were analogous to the position of, at the time, the PP. Because when the NLC overthrew Nkrumah, they handed over power to a civilian regime, which was PP, headed by Buzia. So you cannot tell me that the person who wanted to bomb Osagyefo Dr. KWAME Nkrumah, who wanted to kill him, and were arrested under PDA, some of them went into exile. They all returned to Ghana after the overthrow of him. They wanted to extinct the name of KWAME Nkrumah. That was the plan. All the books which were written by Osagyefo Dr. KWAME were bent. And it was a crime at the time to even hoist a CPP flag or to hold anything that was linked to Osagyefo Dr. KWAME Nkrumah. This is the history that we are talking about. There was no legitimacy in giving, because the military regime ruled by decrees. It was not legitimate. So even that name that was given to Kotoka, you read something like that.
Yes.
Listen, now the conversation has come up. And I think that for the forward march of this country, history must always guide us. But this history is an unpalatable one. It's an unpleasant history. A history that points us to a decision by greedy people at the time to overthrow the first president of the Republic of Ghana.
Why are you pointing at him?
Do you understand what I'm saying? So if we are changing the name, from Kotoka International Airport, me too, I have a right. And I would prefer that we named Kotoka after Osagyefo Dr. KWAME Nkrumah.
Like you said,
see, this thing that you have done, you have worried me.
No, Kwame, this topic,
we have worried me.
We will end this topic.
No,
today.
but you see, when you are allocating the time, allocate it well. You have worried me, Kojo. This man was insulting KWAME Nkrumah here.
Kojo,
AFOAKWAH.
you see, we are discussing
You
matters
know
of
he didn't
history.
insult KWAME Nkrumah.
When we are discussing matters of history, we must discuss history as history, not to discuss history that benefits or that satisfies our quest. Kwame has his own inclination because of where he belongs. I have never attended a socialist forum meeting, but he has. So on the purview of that, his ideological inclination syncs with that of the Nkrumahism, and that he will discuss the Nkrumah matter in a sacrosanct manner.
So say that. Yeah. Say that.
Kojo is.
He's an Nkrumahist.
Because then he was. He still is.
Yes. So,
Kojo, naming state monuments or national monuments on persons is not only in honor, but to preserve history.
Absolutely.
To preserve history.
Yes.
Whether negative or positive, we recognize efforts or incidents that has happened in a republic to preserve the monuments of history. Who does Emmanuel Kwesi Kotoka stand for? He was a military leader, as you all know. He was one of the foremost leads of the 24 February 1966 coup d'etat that overthrew the First Republic, led by the first Prime Minister and President of the Republic of Ghana.
The founder.
One person cannot found a state.
He founded it.
You have only 4 minutes.
One person can never found a state.
Kwame Nkrumah
I will
founded
disagree
Ghana.
in any manner.
You can disagree. He founded Ghana.
Again,
Who was on the podium?
you see, the agenda being set now, I cry for the Rawlinses. I weep for the Rawlinses. It is an attempt to set up the Rawlinses and to erase the legacies of the Rawlinses. Because he also came into governance through the barrel of the gun. Through the barrel of the gun.
Was he not voted for after that?
So, if you promote a constitution, if you promote a constitution with an indemnity clause.
You are still within your time.
I'm within my time,
Yes,
and I will say what I have to say.
No, please.
You see, if you promote a constitution with an indemnity clause that protects your negative legacies, and you think that's a fair constitution for us to go with, and we are going with it.
I'm sure most of the things he said, he didn't agree, but they went now. So please allow him. He has only 3 minutes, please.
You see, you cannot rewrite history for political convenience.
You cannot say that they are setting up the Rawlinses. He needs to explain what he's saying.
In any government.
No, let him explain.
Yes.
Allow him to explain.
Yes, in the future, we also write history by erasing names of coupists who have been named with national monuments. Yes. Because there are precedents to that effect. Judging was turning from the 31st December coup and those kind of things. So the NDC is setting up. The reason the majority leader, as eminently espoused by BRAKO-POWERS, could not drive the Ghanaian people in line with the reasoning why there should be such a naming and say that the land belongs to the Ghans and we should name it after we should name it Accra.
No, that was the reason for giving the Accra name, not because the decision to remove Kotoka.
Then we should name it after the British Royal Armed Forces that established the airport, because the airport was established by the British as a royal airport for the First World War.
Yeah.
So if please, Kwame, please. You see, you've been a running mate. You see, I don't want to go into certain things. You've been a running mate.
No.
So you should have presidential.
No, but he's speaking to the reason for the choice.
They are young people are watching you. No, don't do that. They are young people.
So history, you cannot rewrite history. But the airport is there for all of us. After John Mahama, because he built Terminal 3.
Yes, let's name it.
Then let's name it after John Mahama because he built Terminal 3.
You have a minute more, please.
If you are telling me that Nkrumah used 2 years, proved upon it, because he was one of the foremost proponents of independence, that we should name it after Nkrumah. Wow. KWAME University of Science and Technology, per the reasoning of the medium. Baba Yara, who is Baba Yara? But Baba Yara, Kumasi Sports Stadium is named after Baba Yara because of what he did in football. Are the Asantis complaining? So you see, when you decide to move the nation on a divisive tone, I'm sorry, you are setting the nation ablaze.
Right.
KOJO,
10 seconds.
this is a unitary state. This is a unitary state. And we must act in accordance with the unitary standards that we have adopted onto ourselves. Although various areas within the land Ghana belong to certain tribes, but Ghana should be seen as Ghana. For Christ's sake, Honorable is coming from Bongo. He's not a Ghanaian. If he has performed or has acted instead of history, and something ought to let me bring in Major Mahama, the runabout at East Airport. Whether the naming was even proper, or it's as a result of the mob action that we want people.
They were on national assignment. What are you talking about?
National assignment.
And
We will go into it next time when we come. We'll go into it. What was happening in the Upper Wassa Forest Reserve,
Right.
the DANSO Forest Reserve.
Right.
You were there. We'll go into all those things.
Right. Gentlemen, we are ending. Right. So, viewers, thank you very much for your time. The discussions will continue here. We are not ending now. Please do also end at home. Keep it ongoing. Next week, same time, we'll be with you and we'll discuss with the same vigor and vim. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.